Teaching dogs to look to humans, teaching humans how to lead. Welcome to T's Doghouse.
The shaping, what do we do now for the dogs that we've had, that we didn't take through this program, that we've now created issues? I mean, how much more difficult is it to shape? And can we do this at a later time?
You can most definitely do it at a later time. The thing that I see we run into the most about doing something, going back and changing the dogs that we've already brought along, or like the dogs that come into training, one of the key things we have to remember is we have to throw age out the window, right? Because we want to say, yeah, but it's 2 already. Yeah, but we've already killed birds over it. Yeah, but we've already, and there's all these alreadys, and those alreadys don't matter. You still have to go back and take the same steps that you would have taken if you were taking the dog through the series from a little puppy. So I have to erase the age of the dog and go back and say, what drills did we go through with the puppy? And I take them right back, and I go right back to the tire drill, and I go right back to the, and help this dog, learn to go tire to tire and then go bird to bird. And I reintroduce the gun in the manner that I reintroduced the gun, and if we're talking about the bird dogs, and if we're talking about the family dogs, I take them right through. That's why we've got the shaping of the mind course for the puppies and the shaping of the mind course for the adult dogs. And it's really the same. Yep. But it's just to help people realize, if you have an adult dog, don't skip the puppy stuff, because it's not a puppy. Go into the adult dog, and it's going to guide you through the exact same steps that we guide everybody through the puppy, because you have to give the dog those opportunities. But if you do, it'll awaken its mind. Now, I will say there are some situations there where a dog has a strong enough belief in what it used to know, like the dogs jumping on the window. We need to teach them a new behavior that's successful, and that might get the job done. But I might also have to help them understand that the old way, not only is it not successful, but it's not allowed, right? And that's where we have to be balanced in our view. We have to know that dogs do things to gain what they want, and they do things to avoid what they don't want. And sometimes I need to help them have a reason to avoid what they used to want, And so that's, that when you're changing a dog that already has a perception of things, then first we teach them the new way, and a lot of times they're just going to accept it and go with it. And sometimes we have to go back and help them know that the old way isn't going to be an option anymore, so that we can fully convert them to the new way. But when we do that, we don't know that we need to do that until after we've taught the new way. There's no point in starting with that, because they need to know that there's a way to be successful and to have their needs and their wants met through different actions before you try to stop the old actions that had proven to be successful for them in the past.
Yeah, but that's the bottom line with it. The process, not the process, but the pattern that we follow might be a little bit different with older dogs than younger dogs, but it's the same process. It's the same things being taught, just in a slightly different order, because they're going to have different beliefs already than a puppy that's kind of a blank slate. But that idea that the age doesn't really matter, we forget that with dogs, where it's true with humans too. I took a bunch of classes. There's the university that I attended, it's about an hour from here, and I did 1 year up there where I lived on campus. But the year before I took down here, there's a satellite campus not far from where we live. And so that was right as we were filming so much and launching the courses and things. And so I stayed here so that I could work on that. And then I took evening classes up at the satellite campus. Right. And it was interesting because it was a much different demographic of students, because it was a lot of people that had already were in their careers and they were going back to school so that they could get the degree to get the promotion or things like that. So I had a lot of classes with people that were 10, 20, 30 years older than me. And it was interesting because no one expected them to understand math better because they'd had 40 more years of life experience. They didn't have the knowledge of the different math things we were going through in that advanced mathematics class, to just because they'd had more life experience, because it wasn't math that you use in your everyday job and work in reception or work in whatever you're in the different factories or manufacturing or whatever it was they were doing. They're not using this different advanced math and calculus and advanced algebra and all these different things in their everyday life. So it's ridiculous to expect them to believe it simply because they're older. But for some reason we talk about dogs and we believe that because they're older, they're behind or something, when it's a lot more based on the knowledge than the age.
Well, in fact, your dad did that this summer. We were having a hard time with our dogs chasing, and we were working through that. And I think your he should just have a button where he presses, well, have you done these fundamental basics first, right? And so your dad shows up with a sign, I pick him up on the road, we'll work for food. And he'd happen to be up with one of your sister's baseball programs and her games. And it was so fun to have Talmadge, so we drop everything. And, we go out there to try to address some issues that we were having with a couple of dogs that are really nice dogs. But your dad went back into your program and started at some of the basics that we had not created that shaping for first. He didn't start here. He assessed it and went back there, remember?
Yeah, we went right back to a pigeon on a pole, if I remember right, and calling them into that bird.
And these were dogs that have seen, hundreds, thousands of wild birds, right?
Yeah.
But we had not shaped it, but you went back and in a couple of days you had that shaping happening very quickly.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what makes it fun to me, is that it's, it doesn't matter the age. So much of it's just like playing with a puppy, and you just go back and start teaching those basics and start shaping that mind, helping them realize, when I make this sound, this is what I'm trying to say. This is a better way to get the thrill you're trying to get by finding the bird.
And going back to your analogy, I think that's what's exciting. I mean, that's what opens my mind to some of the things you're doing is, you were talking about being in that class with folks that were older, learning the same curriculum, but what those people can now become by learning and shaping that is they become basically more enabled, more capable people. Mm. Think of all the dogs out there where folks just have these issues, these problems where they haven't shaped, and you're giving great hope and awesome ability. I mean, think of all the amazing honey dogs that people get frustrated with, and if they would just establish some of those basics, get them in the same class as Tanner. It's like the puppies, or Tanner's like one of your prime dogs.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome point, because it opens so many doors. Them being able to go back to school they're doing it because it's opening doors for them, right? And I think of that with the dogs too. Often you hear it, my dog's already obedient. Oh, my dog already knows these commands, almost as if being trained is a certificate or a sticker that you get at the end. And in my mind, it's a journey. Dogs are never trained. You're never done.
Yeah.
And so to put a cap on it and say, no, that's it. The high school diploma, I'm educated, no more need to learn, it's not the right mindset to be in. And so to have that idea that no matter what, there's more my dog can learn. There's more I can teach it. My dog doesn't spend 24 hours a day with me every day. There's some activities that it doesn't come with, but I probably could figure out how to have it be able to come do those activities with me too. And so there's always more to learn and to grow with. And so it's never a certificate that you get and you're done. You don't have to worry about it anymore for the rest of the dog's life. It's a constant process. There's always more we can do with them, more we can teach them, more fun to be had, more games to play. It's a never-ending journey in my mind. And I think that's a great point, and one that often is overlooked by people. I think
their great dog might be right in their kennel already. It might be the greatest dog they'll ever have might be just going back through these courses and shaping it right now.
Yep.